What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. I'm a dad, okay? So this pertains to me. I'm also a dad who trains children. I coach conditioning and I coach strength. And I really, you know what? This is something that I was sent to me by actually one of my best friends, one of my oldest friends, Brett Rumbeck, my college roommate at Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, California. Ah, man, Brett. We lived in Mount Clef together. Mount Clef 416, I believe, was the room. So those of you all at Cal Lutheran, if you know the guy in 416, tell them they're living in the machine's old room. If you notice, I touched up my fade right here. Can't leave it sloppy. Got to leave it nice, you know. Got to fade. The reason for my fade, real quick, I'll tell you this as an anecdote. Well, I grew up in a I grew up in a black community. And I remember my buddy we were in Inglewood, and we went to a black barbershop. That's the only kind of barbershop we had. And I went in there and I was like, man, what do y'all do here? He's like, we know two things here. We know how to shave and how to fade. I went with a fade. Now Thomas and I have matching fades. Anyway, here's an article. It's entitled, Brett sent this to me and said, check this out, bro. I said, cool, Brett, I'll check it out. By the way, Brett has red hair. Thus, he sheds red pubes. 14-year-old makes his mark on the powerlifting circuit. You saw the picture. Here's this kid, basically. His name's Jake. And he's 14 years old. He weighs 114 pounds. And he can deadlift 300 pounds. Okay? And the thing is, it's causing controversy. Powerlifters are like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. Okay? And, you know, people like me and the general public are like, wait a second, is this really what we want this kid to do? Is this really good for them? There are a lot of teens who compete in bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I have to admit, at 14 years of age is when I started pounding the weights heavy. The thing is, I was doing maximal lifts, and so they actually interviewed a couple of people here. I'm going to look for who was interviewed right now. But, so essentially, the American Academy of Pediatrics actually supports strength training for teenage athletes, but it cautions against teens who powerlift while their bodies are still growing. Powerlifting meaning maximal lifts, heavy weight, a lot of pressure on the spine, a lot of load bearing on the spine. And I quote, powerlifting, okay, and Olympic weightlifting sports are different because they usually are involving maximum lifts, the squat, bench press, and deadlift, said Paul Stricker, a youth sports medicine specialist at the Scripps Health Clinic in San Diego and fellow at the American Academy of Pediatrics. There is high risk to heavy maximal lifts or explosive lifts during their rapid growth phase, said Stricker, one of 8 physicians who work with the U.S. Olympic team in Sydney. This is our biggest caution. We just don't recommend they do maximal lifts or explosive lifts until they have finished the majority of their growth spurt, especially if they aren't being properly supervised. Now, this kid is being supervised by Sarney, the owner of World Gym in Glen Burnie. And you guys know Sarney, must know what the fuck he's doing. It's a fucking owner of a gym. Whatever. Okay, that's besides the point. Now, 14, here's the deal. He's lifting a lot of weight, yeah, but I mean, if you go to any football program in the country, you have freshmen who are jacking some big-ass weights in the weight room. I don't know, it's like, when is that rapid growth phase? When does it end? For me, it ended at around 13. I'm pretty much the same height now as I was at 13. Yes, because I started taking Tren at 13. I get it, trolls. I get it. But look at my hair, man. Look at that beautiful fucking hair. Okay, check it out. Okay, my opinion as a father, and I want to open this up. I want to have 4 million comments on here. I want you guys to share this on your Facebook pages, share this on your Twitter pages, and I want to actually put this into an educated discussion on your thoughts of when a kid should start maximal lifting and when powerlifting and other strength sports are healthy or not as dangerous for children. Now, I believe the arbitrary age that I pretty much set, and I was watching, man, I can't think of his name, the linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. You guys know who I'm talking about. It'll come to my name after this video. But they were asking him, you said you don't want your kid playing football. He's like, no, not really. He's like, I wouldn't encourage it, but if he wanted to do it, I wouldn't discourage it. Now, my whole thing is, I don't want my kid playing football either. 1, because of the injuries I've suffered. 2, because the injuries my business partner suffered playing football. And it's just a really dangerous sport where the people are getting bigger and bigger and faster. This is not like that. This is powerlifting. What if Thomas and Cammie, I mean, look, my brother and I, we will do tests with our kids right now at 7 years old and 9 years old, squatting just the bar or 10 on each side. But getting into these big ass weights, the arbitrary age I have set is just about that puberty age, just around 13. And I actually, when I first read this, I'm like, these parents are fucking assholes. They're douchebags. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait a second. I started training for football at 14 years old. That's the age this kid's at. I was bench pressing, you know, in the 200s easily at 14, 15 years old. At 16 years old, I was a senior in high school, breaking all kinds of snatch records. Breaking all kind of squat and deadlift records in the room. And at 19 years old, I was breaking powerlifting records. I'm not saying that to brag about myself. I'm saying that, and I'm short because my genetics made me short. Okay, I'm not tall. It's just not in my genetics, okay? Now, my brother, he's fucking tall. He didn't squat. I know a lot of people who've done neither. And it's just, genetics set that. It's really hard to stop your bone plate structure, stop that growth. It's almost impossible to do that, especially through weight training. So, you know, my whole thing is, guys, I don't think it's a big deal, but I want you to comment below. Let's put yourself in my shoes. And you're a dad, or you're a mom, or you're a transgendered parent, okay? I gotta be politically correct for you people in California, okay? What is your opinion? I want you to opine below. I want you to share this on your Facebook and Twitter and whatever porn site you frequent. I want you to share that. And I want you to go ahead and let people comment on this. At what age do you feel it is appropriate to be able to lift some heavy ass weights? That's the question I have for you guys. And I hope you like my new office setup. We're gonna have some pictures in here and everything. This is gonna be a complete wall unit right here. Gonna have a, believe it or not, I'm very, very proud of my conditioning last show. We did a fat head made of myself doing the crouch pose. But anyway, that's it, guys. I want you to comment below. Again, I want to see this thing blow up with comments. Please share it because I want your opinion. I want your thought. What is your opinion on what age children should be able to start lifting some heavy ass weights? I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Look at that tight fade. It's high and tight. Because lifting heavy ass weights as a teenager, that's not a game.